All right, again, everyone, thank you. Welcome to the faculty and staff networking call. Today's guest is Dr. Bernard Turner, and he's a tenured associate professor and program director of the social entrepreneurship at the Jack Massey College of Business at Belmont University. Before his appointment at Belmont in 2008, he served as associate vice president for corporate and foundation relations at Meharry Medical College. He has also worked at Vanderbilt University in fundraising management positions in the School of Nursing and in the Medical Center. He has extensive experience with nonprofit organizations working in the field of human services, higher education, healthcare, and minority and women-owned business development. So today we welcome Dr. Turner to our networking meeting as our faculty and staff guest speaker. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Jody. Hey, everybody. Thank you all for taking time out of your schedules. I only got 6 slides, but I'm a weave in and out of those slides. So I really appreciate the opportunity to share with you all about Belmont. Okay. You all can see this, right?
Not the slide. Nope. If you'll share it one more time.
I thought I did. Okay, hold on. I'll go back. Share screen. Here we go.
We see your Zoom call.
Lord.
There it is.
Okay,
There it is.
okay. Okay. If you don't mind, I'm gonna leave these slides over here on the thing because I want to see you all's face as well. If you can see can you see the whole slide?
We can. Yep.
Okay, all right. So listen. At Belmont, when I came over in June of 2008, they had spent 2 years developing a social entrepreneurship undergrad major. And also, with that came the Center for Social Entrepreneurship. I call this the early years, 2008, 2014, because there was a major change in 2015. The program and let me just tell you a few things about the social entrepreneurship major. 45 credit hours, not counting the general education requirement. There were 9 credits in social entrepreneurship, 3 courses, 18 on the entrepreneurship. That included 3 entrepreneurship courses, business ethics, and accounting, 6 credits. So it was 18 credits there. And then thematic tracks, we had 5: contemporary social issues, global social entrepreneurship, economic development, environmental studies, and faith, culture, and ethics. Those students say they didn't want to be a preacher, but they want to use their faith at the intersection of addressing social problems. So the center came along with that. And back then, it was called a Center for Social Entrepreneurship and Service Learning. Of course, was an important component for the major, as I'll talk when I have a slide about that. Later on, the name was changed to the Center for Social Entrepreneurship, and the Office of Service Learning emerged as an important separate but collaborative department. Even though we shared a house on the edge of campus. And they're still my buddies today. One of the major things about the major was that it was an interdisciplinary effort. Our registrar had just finished or was completing his master's in education, and he did his dissertation about social entrepreneurship and higher ed. Then there was somebody in there from nursing, community health nurse, faculty, religion, honors. The associate provost was on the task force, and entrepreneurship, because Dr. Jeff Cornwall was a professor of entrepreneurship. He came over from St. Thomas University I guess he came around 2001, if I'm not mistaken. So he first got the entrepreneurship program up and running, and he was very, he did a lot with USASB, so United States Association of Small Business Entrepreneurship. So came and developed a social entrepreneurship major. Okay, but the center in itself, and I took these directly from the proposal that went forward to establish the center and the major. And if anybody want to see that, I'll gladly share it with you. You know, we believe in sharing here at Belmont. The Education for Social Entrepreneurship said their whole thing is must be experiential and have a significant community-based component. So when I came, all three of the courses, now four, now five, wait, now we got about 7 social entrepreneurship courses. I made the first 3, which was service learning, introduction to social entrepreneurship, junior internship, and senior capstone. And then eventually, after the first year, we added a grant writing course because social work and our master's in nonprofit leadership studies wanted that. All of them have an experiential learning component, experiential education, because I was big on that. Well, the students must learn to make judgments in public settings under conditions when the well-being and events in the lives of others are at stake. So we wanted to make sure they had critical learning skill also and empathy for what they're doing. We're big on repeated practice and reflection here, just like some of you all might be, your colleges. And so they said, we want to make sure students reflect on what they are been doing, whether in the classroom or out in the community. So community-based learning component, was all for that. And this came directly out of the application. Number 4, a program that aspires to be a national leader in social entrepreneurship must have an arm that links the university in multiple ways to the community. So if you can see here, the thread around here was, experiential education, but be out in the community. Service learning and internships play an important part, and the center thus will not be support, but it's central to achieving the learning goals for the major. And for the major, I didn't include it in here, but there were 5 learning goals. One was ethics and value, making sure students have a social entrepreneurship skill set, just like the entrepreneurship skill set, opportunity assessment, team building, negotiation skills, and the use of basic business skills. Culture and political and social understanding, project planning, and managing and sustaining an entrepreneurship initiative. Big wild dreams back then, but we hope that we have provided our students with such an education. So let me tell you what some of the activities were. First, workshops for faculty, workshops for students, regional and national conferences, and speaker series. That's what the center was doing, extracurricular things, but it was the umbrella. So workshops for faculty, I've done some for Belmont's teaching center. Like when I first got here, after about 3 years, they asked me to share my thoughts about teaching social entrepreneurship. I think some of you all know I was the entrepreneurship faculty for 14 years. And AACSB did tell them, you're not meeting the faculty qualifications when you only have 1 faculty member in a department. But things did change. So Community Partners Appreciation Lunch. We thank all the nonprofits we'll work and other organizations we'll walk with. I give them a big luncheon, and those that have been with us 3 to 4 years, we give them a nice frame certificate. And the first year, after my first year, the first one we did, my boss, the associate provost, got up and said, Dr. Turner is the only person I know that can get 55 representatives from nonprofits in a room. And this one executive director, Renee Rizzo, Hope Clinic for Women, 4 feet tall, and she had on 4-inch heels. She said that's because all of us owe him, and we know he better show up when he needs us. And I said, Renee, this is the end of my first year. I really want this job. And everybody started laughing. So workshops for students, Social Enterprise Alliance, Nashville Center for Nonprofit Management, grant writing. We give them exposure to regional and national conferences so they can get out there and practice what they're being taught. Now, one thing, Christian Community Development Association, I don't know if any of y'all ever heard of them, but those are nonprofits and religious faith-based organizations doing extraordinary work in communities. So I had two of my students that took my grant writing workshops in 2019. They presented. I got up there and introduced them, and then they were like, "Where are you going, Dr. T?" I said, "To sit down." I said, "This is you all's workshop." They were so nervous. So I did give them a send-off by telling everybody, it was 45 people in the room. My students are nervous. Would you all please give them some love? And they did. And at the end, about 30 people lined up to ask them questions, and I stepped back. And afterwards, they said, "You just left us out there." I said, "Come on, you guys. You all can make presentations. You all have this knowledge. Just share it with them." I said, "They want to talk to you all because you are the future, especially when in the social sector, when we're dealing with programs and things." And then regional and national conferences, I spoke at some of these, but I always like to take students along. The Sullivan Foundation Initiative, Sullivan Foundation Ignite Retreat, I think I started coming in 2015 or 16. And, I was so happy last year when I showed up, 2 faculty from Belmont, 2 from Fisk University. I'll talk about that in a minute. And we had 12 students. We didn't come a long way. But I'm thankful to you all for open arms and welcoming us. And then we have a speaker series. Nobel Peace Prize winners. We had 2 come to campus. Organization called Peace Jam, and we collaborated with another nonprofit in town. And the Social Enterprise Alliance, we've had 3 presidents, their presidents come on our campus and speak. In 2010, when we dedicated the center, the president of that time came, and it was a really good time. So the middle years, 2015 to 2021, it was big changes for us. Number one, the program moved from the provost's office. I was in interdisciplinary studies and global education. It was wonderful. Being in the provost's office, we can get things done and get it done quick. The program hit 75 majors during this stretch. Well, it was about early 2014-13, 75 majors. That was big. Then, but this move, the Cone Center for Entrepreneurship, they were in the College of Business. They are an endowed center. They have money. Now, I learned not to complain about my $12,000 that I had to run my center, because talking to some of you all, when you told me what your budget was, I was like, okay, Bernard, you stop complaining about that. But Dr. Jeff Cornwall, the professor that started both entrepreneurship and social entrepreneur majors, he, one of my strongest allies, he was even a chair of my search committee. He retired 2 years ago. Big change. And then our dean retired. We had an interim dean for about 9 months. New dean was hired in March of 2020, and she was practically here by herself because, we all extended our spring break by a week, and then we went totally virtual. And in the fall, I was on sabbatical. Just luck of the timing. But back then, like I said, about 2015, we attended the Ignite retreat. Well, now we moved to a new day at Belmont University. 2 years ago, we got a new president, came from Duke Divinity School. Strong advocate for social innovation. And when I met him after he was named, he and his wife were meeting with another colleague of mine, and that colleague wanted to introduce me to him. So when I met him, I was like, I hear you in the social innovation, you believe in social entrepreneurship. He said, yes, I am. And I said, well, where you been? I've been waiting 14 years for you to get here. My colleague told me afterwards that he and his wife would never forget me. And whenever I see the president, if we were in a meeting with the Sullivan Foundation a few months ago, he was saying things I didn't even know about myself about carrying this program and this center and things of that nature. Social entrepreneurship, we finally got a new home in the College of Business. We're with the other entrepreneurship faculty member, and our new department is called Entrepreneurship and Innovation. In 2002, fall, Dr. David Hawkins, a new social entrepreneurship faculty member. That was the fourth time we tried, 3 under the last president, and this new president, right away, we got a new faculty member. So what does that mean? That means I can spend more time doing center stuff and doing initiatives like Sullivan Foundation. We've offered a couple of new courses, Change through Social Entrepreneurship. Dr. Harkins brought that along with him. He's taught it in the fall, it'll be 4 times. Same thing with me. I get to teach nonprofit management now. Been to 3 times. So I feel good about that. And he's teaching in the fall a new course for the first time, the entrepreneur mindset. We used to have one Maymaster that was mine to Haiti and the DR, then DR only in 2019. Ours didn't make it to the DR this year. We only had 5 students. So I diverted those students to think about Amsterdam, which Dr. Hawkins is leading, and that's the first time. In the fall, we have a new minor for non-business majors coming. 16 months into a Fisk Belmont Social Justice Collaborative. That's Fisk University. They came last year to the retreat, and they're coming this year. Wonderful extracurricular activities for us with an academic component. We had a board member, Belmont board member, whose father was on the board of Fisk, and he wanted us to do something together. And so they gave him several things, and he chose social justice and gave us $750,000 over the first 5 years. And they tell us we might get more, okay? So we're looking for that more. And more intentional involvement with the Sullivan Foundation. We made, all this falls under the center because I'm here, and I told them this is where this stuff, these wonderful things need to be. We're gonna be awarding our second set of Sullivan Awards this year. We're also working with the Sullivan Foundation. They're gonna be their centennial celebration, gonna be in Nashville. Peabody over at Vanderbilt were the first to make the awards. They are doing a spring retreat in the Nashville area as well. And we'll probably host them doing something here at Belmont to be determined. Now, I am so glad that this day has come where we are getting more involved with Sullivan through the center. Matter of fact, I'm bringing a couple of new faculty members. Well, one can't come right now. He has a sick father, but he's over our faith and social justice major. And then I got someone that teaches English, and really a close colleague of mine. I'm having her come because she has exposure to more students than what I have in the College of Business. But also, I think I told you, there's 65 students out there, at least 45 that's minoring in social justice through the College of Social Work, and then another 20 that's majoring in faith and social justice. So I'm being intentional about that and exposing them to the Sullivan Foundation. That's why I need more faculty to get exposed to this. Because, I used to have a program assistant that used to come in the fall, but now Dr. Harkins comes in the fall and brings about 4 students. And we're moving, once the MOU is signed by Fisk and Belmont, we will be offering a fellows program under the HBCU initiative that Sullivan is having. So the center has been like a lifeline because we want students to get the academic training, but we also want them to have extracurricular activities such as this. And Sullivan has played a major issue. Now, who would have thought that just me coming with 3 or 4 students or 2 students, now that we're at the point to add Fisk University and also grow our connection with the Sullivan Foundation. So that's a brief thing about the center. But like I said, if anybody is interested in seeing the initial proposal to start this, it wasn't my brainchild. And I always give those people that worked on that committee, give them their due. They developed it, and then I came in to implement it. And somebody, my dean, and then our executive vice president, provost, and executive vice president, chief of staff have really been involved and supportive of us growing our relationship under the center with the Sullivan Foundation. So for that, I'm grateful, but who would have thought? I always felt like I was the Lone Ranger out there on campus. Then I come to Sullivan and meet you guys. And I was like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. So that's it. I didn't want to, I hope that gave you some overview of what we're trying to do here at Belmont. And kudos to Dr. Harkins because he came right in. He also has a marketing background, but then we decided not for him not to teach marketing at all. So he teach entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship program. And he's going to Amsterdam with an art professor. So he's already working cross campus, which helps us a lot. And it's a great thing. And good things happen to those who wait. But the president gave all tenure professors starting this academic 3-year contract. We used to have a 1-year renewable contract. So I'm trying to hang out, and stay to the end of the 3-year contract, but I am getting to the point where I still love it, but I get excited about Sullivan, even more excited every day. So, now I'm going to be the campus liaison for the fellows program, but I did learn one thing for you all. I learned how to ask for a course release and not just put stuff piling up on me and teaching. So I got a course release because the provost, the two of our 4 executive vice presidents are pushing me and being collaborative about doing this on Belmont's campus and getting it out there further. Okay, so that was short and sweet, but I hope you all enjoyed it. And I'll take any questions.
That was perfect, Bernard. Thank you very much for presenting that and telling us the history and the evolution and story behind the center. Yeah, let's open up for some questions to see from anyone who's on the call who may have some questions. I'll kick it off because I'm always thinking about organizations and programs and institutions and as they evolve and being in my middle career as an academic and starting to find that as in the last 4 years that I've got tenured and now I'm starting to get more service work for the university. What's some of your biggest challenges is growing this organization from an internal institution? What have you seen as some of the significant challenges and barriers that you had to overcome to get to where it is today? That's one question. And I've got a follow up about where do you see this in the next 10 years too?
Number one, respect. When you're the only person and nobody understands what social entrepreneurship, you're constantly educating them. And I will stand up. We had a AACSB mid review or something like that a couple of years ago. The dean, we have 5 centers, what we call centers of excellence in the College of Business. And the dean called on every one of them except me. And I said, hold on, I have a center. I also went and had a talk with her about it too. So I don't like being disrespected because then it's just like you're disrespecting my nearly 200 graduates from this program. So that's number one. You have to constantly keep educating folks. And now that we're more involved, getting more involved with Sullivan, that's why I'm getting more faculty involved and staff if they want to get involved as well. Because I think that what we want to do is broaden the net around campus. That we have this wonderful relationship, is growing. You know, students can come. The reason we come to the retreat during the spring with this, because we have grant money. And so I said, okay, that's the first thing I said when we had our first combined meeting. I know where we can go in the spring. It's wonderful now since they came last year and they got a taste of it. They can't wait to come back. But I'm not driving this year. We chartered a bus. I drove a 16-passenger Sprinter last year with a professor from Fisk, and I bumped the car trying to get gas. It's a big old van. But all right, it wasn't nothing wrong. But I told him I'm not driving. I don't even like to drive. Okay, so that's one. You know, when you're the Lone Ranger, you have support, but you don't have support. The thing about being with Sullivan, we got two executive vice presidents. When they first heard about this, the first time we met with Sullivan in 2022, and they did a road show in September, had them in show them the campus, had them in a meeting with these two executive vice presidents. They said, we want that on campus. Bernard, you need to make that happen. So I kind of like that because I got their support and their backing. So that's been a challenge. And the future, I always have 10 to 12 students coming to the retreats with same faculty, new faculty. One, number two, kick off this fellows program. Raise money for that program so we can spread it around. Three, keep making these awards, because I did not, the Sullivan Awards, when we made them last year, 2023 for the first time, after that meeting in September 2022, I think it was Carolina Courtney came, or both of them came. They sent me the application that Belmont submitted in 2014, but they never made the awards. Well, I didn't know that. It shocked me. And I said, okay, we're going to make the awards this year. Dr. West, Executive Vice President and Chief of Staff, said, Bernard, make those awards because we want to be involved with them. And plus, it didn't hurt that Steve had told Bernard, please make the awards. So we made the awards and he was here. He was glad. We took pictures and things of that nature. So, you know, I'm in a cheerleading mood, but I'm also trying to get my colleagues to know how deep this is, and it can go and beneficial not only to students, but them as well that's been in this space but never had the opportunity, you know, to come to a retreat about it and things of that nature. So I love me some Sullivan now. Look who I got to meet. Look at the guys that's on here today. Shoot, I don't miss the spring at all. And being the campus liaison, you know, I'm probably gonna start coming both, mostly since, you know, those fellows are gonna be my little cohort. I won't say my favorite students, but they probably will be my little cohort, and make sure that they have opportunities like this and to present and stuff like that.
Well, Bernard, you sure are a great cheerleader. I mean, just as you're sitting here talking and the passion you're showing for the growth in the program, it's pretty cool to think, you know, that the first award was given out in 1925, and you guys started in 2023, and the passion that continues to emerge from the seeds planted by this foundation, and the excitement and the touch it's going to impact your students and the faculty. As we say, you know, we want to be there to support the faculty and staff with resources and grants and opportunities. So I'm glad that you're bringing them into the fold. We just really appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said staff, because Tammy, I don't forget about staff. I love our staff. Shoot, for Valentine's Day, I gave them a spread, and then I told, don't tell them it's me, but they were saying, we heard somebody did this for us. And we the person don't want to be noticed. But now you know who that was, and I was like, they said we know it's you. But see, we forget about that sometimes, but I don't, because shoot, if we didn't have the cleaning folks, I don't know who'd be cleaning my office because this, so things like that. So Tammy, you have a question? Tammy you got your hand up.
Any questions?
Don't have my hand up, but I was sitting here thinking, what role does your staff play in the entrepreneurship?
Well, I used to have a program assistant, and she would come in the fall to the retreat. She didn't mind driving. So she played a critical arm because I didn't have other faculty support. It was just me and her. Unfortunately, I shouldn't say this. When we moved to the College of Business in 2015, she had been with us since 2011 or 12. An important staff person in the College of Business undergrad office resigned because she had another job. So I volunteered Erica to go up there. She said, I don't want to go up there. I don't want to leave you. I said, no, this is just, going up there helping out. And then she's up there about a week. And I said, I have to look out for you because I'm not going to be here forever. So they redesigned the job, and she applied, and they didn't interview nobody but her, no external people. So now she's doing pretty good. She started working on her master's in accounting, and she left Belmont for a CPA firm, but at the beginning of the year, she's the accounting manager over at Tennessee State University. So my thing is, I believe in giving staff the same opportunities that faculty have.
Thank you.
Great approach.
I try to be, I just remember when somebody took me under their wings when I was first getting out. And I was in personnel at Blue Cross, and I was employee. I was hired for a methods analyst, an in-house business consultant. You know, the ones that tell you how to do your job more efficient. But I was on loan to personnel for 8 months as a personnel specialist. Then when I was supposed to go down to the methods department, 2 of the 3 personnel specialists resigned on the same day. So they let me stay for a little while. But when I first got there, I meddled over the years. When they did my review, who was that? My supervisor said, test the waters before you submerge. In other words, calm down, because I kind of told somebody off, because she lied on me. But I was young, just out of MBA, my first one. So I did calm down. In that regard. Yeah. Can I ask who's coming to the retreat? No hand, but hey, yay! I'll see you all there.
You will. It'll be fun. We've got a lot of activities in the final stages of planning, and hopefully have that agenda sent out pretty soon. Waiting on two or three more confirmations on some things for the Ignite retreat, and then also the fellows. So I think we have time for about one more question if anybody wants to ask anything.
You all don't know how nervous. I'm always nervous when I'm talking to my peers for some reason. I can get in front of strangers and I'm fine, but when it's my peers, I get a little nervous. I even put on this jacket, but my Belmont sweatshirt is over there that I wore today. I teach on Tuesday and Thursday, so I kind of relax on Mondays and Fridays. No, I try not to come to campus.
Hey, you could have wore your sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm sitting here in an Ole Miss t-shirt.
Yes, look at there. There's a Belmont.
I love it.
I like that.
One year we're gonna come to retreat, and I'm gonna have t-shirts for all our participants that come.
Yeah, we need to have a swag swap. That's what we need.
Yeah.
We need it. I might need to put that into this memo this year.
I like that.
That'll be cool, yeah.
Yeah. Figure out some do a dirty Santa way of doing it at a dinner. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
Those things get crazy.
Yeah,
37.
we won't do that. We won't do that. Well, thank you for your time, Bernard. Thank you for this information. It's a wonderful presentation. Don't get nervous in front of us, but I understand that. I understand that fear thing. But look, thank you so much, and continue all of you for supporting the Sullivan Foundation, and as we continue to build these programs to impact other faculty, other staff, growing the schools, but also impacting our students, and that's what's important. And setting them and putting them into a place where they can have an opportunity to springboard into their careers and make impact in this world through service, however that manifests. And that's so important. So thank you guys for being cheerleaders of that and supporting it. And if there's anything that we can do, if you're working on projects or programs, you know we still have our faculty and staff grants out there if you need that. It's an open cycle, so reach out and do that if you want to do anything on your campus or needing us to come and help you guys with developing any workshops or putting out some road shows. We'll continue doing that. So just thank you for everything.
See you
Thank
guys.
you.
All right, see you next month if you can
See
make
you
it.
next month.
Okay.
See you soon.
Yep.
Good job, Bernard.
Thank you.